Hey there, and welcome to yet another episode of Nerds with Badges. It is August the 11th. So, in just 4 more days, I will be 56 years old. Um, so, I wanted to do a special Nerds with Badges episode this week where I would show all the different handheld systems that I have because I have so many, and I thought it'd be really a good idea to do an episode, talk about the different systems, what they can do, and what purpose they serve. Basically the reason why I bought them. Like, for example, I bought my Switch 2 primarily for it's supposed to be like my work, but I'm using it at home more. And the Switch 1, um, I think that may actually end up becoming like my at work system. Meanwhile, my Lenovo Legion Go that I bought, which is huge, it's got like I think the screen is like 9 inches, almost 9 inches. It's pretty big, and that was supposed to be for trips, but I ended up not even really using it a lot, and then I had to go and do all these updates. Oh, it's lint. I had to go and do a bunch of updates. With the Windows devices, if you go a long time without playing, and then when you go to play again, there's always patches and updates and for drivers and stuff, and that's um, really makes it crazy. That's one of the reasons why the Steam Deck is doing so well. I think because you just turn it on and it works. You have to do updates, but the updates are they're more streamlined, and it's just for that Linux based system, and maybe updates for the game. Um, but when you have a Windows devices, you are doing updates for all the different things and all the different apps and programs that are on your computer or your tablet or whatever. And plus, people complain about the fact that if you don't have a mouse or a keyboard, it's kind of hard to like type things on the screen. And some of the handheld systems, the Windows-based ones anyway, they have even the Steam Deck. They have like trackpads on it. So it's like a mouse basically. Kind of helps you navigate the cursor around on the screen and stuff. Makes it a lot easier. So I have the Asus ROG Ally, the base model, which there were two when they first came out. There was a base model and there was one that was more powerful, but they both had a design flaw. It would destroy your micro SD cards. My micro SD card slot on my Asus ROG Ally doesn't even work. So yeah, I'm limited with the storage that I have on that. I think it might have possibly 500 gigs, maybe 256. I can't remember. But one of the cool things about the ROG Ally that I like is even though it's lower power, I mean it's basically on par with the Steam Deck, but you get more versatility because you got the Windows operating system and stuff. So you can literally play, you know, almost anything on it, as long as it's not like a game that is going to have like a lot of, you know, um, it's going to require a lot of like processing power. I mean, it's pretty it's a decent handheld, and when you plug it into the wall, it goes into turbo mode, which kicks up the performance considerably. So, but the cool things about the Legion Go, which I forgot to mention, is the fact. Besides the fact it's a big screen, is I like the fact that it's got the controls that come off like the Switch. So it's like a bigger, more powerful version of the Switch. And I didn't even know that my Lenovo Legion Go um, was using the Z2 Extreme. I had no idea that. But I noticed that when I would play Wukong, jeez, it ran better on that than it was running on my old ass MSI laptop. Speaking of MSI, I have an MSI Claw, the base model, which is also it's a capable handheld, but it's using Intel. Um, so there's differences in the operating system. You got the AMD and you got the Intel. Most people ain't gonna notice it. I think the the Intel is supposed to be more efficient with battery. Don't quote me on that. Um, I think it's getting a little crazy now because these handhelds are coming out. They already came up with the MSI Claw 8 AI, and then they got an MSI 8.1 or whatever it is. They got the Asus ROG Ally X came out, and then later this year they got the Asus ROG Ally Xbox or whatever they're gonna call it because they partner with Microsoft, to produce a handheld. Sony already got their Portal out. I didn't get that because I really didn't want to. I already have a streaming device. I have a Logitech G Cloud, which is a streaming device, but it also can do emulation. I needed to feature that in my video if I do it this week. That's still costly. They need to drop the price of that thing, man. I guess they didn't sell a lot of them or something. I don't know why. It's still like $300, I think, to buy. I mean, all it does is basically just think of it as like remote play. You can remote play on it like you would use your PS Vita to like stream from your PlayStation 4. But it's more of a cloud base, and it's got really good. It has really good streaming capabilities. I don't know if they use magic. They stole alien technology. They went into the future and got something. But it does emulation as well. I had someone put some games on it for me. As far as emulation go, I just got a what is the name of this thing? Oh, hold on a second. I'm terrible. I have too many. This is the problem. So the newest device that I got, which is I like the way it looks. I think it's actually helping sales of it because it's a unique device. I can get it out. Jesus Christ. So it's called the R36T, but it looks like a TV from like the 70s or something, like one of those old. So you got like around it. I didn't take the screen protector off. I tend to leave these on. I mean, I may take it off, but they gave me a case. I really felt like this would be something I would keep in my pocket. It's got some bulk to it though. But this thing is primarily, it's supposed to have internet connectivity, but it really does not. I think you have to buy a dongle because I have not been able to get it to go online at all. So yeah, I tried and it just would not connect. So I don't know what's up with that. So that's this may actually be the system that I will keep here at work. I wanted to get a handheld that had internet connectivity where I could use Google and do like game sharing, like screenshots and stuff like that. But if it doesn't have internet connection, then I can't do it. And it's one of the things that I didn't like about this device, which I was having trouble with last night. I could not get the damn thing to play. This is a Trimu. This is another handheld device for emulation. It's pretty cheap. You can get this. The prices have actually gone up on electronic stuff, but when I bought it, it was like $99. And this is it plays a lot of. I got like a lot of emulation, like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I don't think there's any like GameCube games up here because GameCube and PlayStation 3 are like notoriously difficult. I mean, you're talking about you're gonna buy a device that can play like PlayStation 3 or GameCube games on it. You might end up spending almost as much as what you would spend buying a Switch, or a Windows handheld, which was really, if you want to do emulation on like everything, I would recommend. I mean, it's a handheld, probably like a Windows handheld, because if you were to buy like even the base model Asus ROG Ally, which you could probably find for about $250 if you look around, probably, maybe $300. But a Windows device is going to allow you to like install like pretty much anything, and you'll be able to run pretty much everything up until like when you're getting into like the Switch, the Wii U, you can probably have issues. The newer systems are just harder. They just tend to be harder to emulate. But this, I thought it would have internet connection, but it really doesn't. You need to connect this to a computer. I don't even know why they did this. It doesn't have HDMI output, so it's another handheld that I have. I can't really do like gameplay sharing videos for YouTube or TikTok or social media. So I may end up using the R3. Damn it, I keep getting the name wrong. I think it's RG 556. I don't have that with me. But if you have a device that allows you to log into Google, you can always take screenshots and do videos. It's a little cumbersome sometimes, but you can do gameplay video. I don't know about streaming. Maybe you can, but I like to be able to share my gameplay videos. And I tend to neglect the devices that don't let me. So that's something I got to think about. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I bought one of these. I bought a handheld for a buddy of mine because he's trying to get into like gaming. Maybe I should do like some giveaways or something for some of these systems that I've been neglecting, because some of them they've just been collecting dust. I mean, if I haven't used them, I have systems like when I turned this thing on last night and it wouldn't let me play any games. I was like, damn. I thought maybe I might have to reach out to the manufacturer, because I think I bought it from the site. So I would have to go and check my emails or something, because I'm sure there's a digital receipt. But I have heard that a lot of these handheld emulator devices, I guess they're made in China, and they have a reputation for using like basically off-brand micro SD cards that just don't last long, and sometimes they even put like a fake, it'll have like a name brand on it, but it really won't be the name brand. So it's a nice hobby to have, to be able to like go back and play the games that I grew up playing and have them. But I would really like the video output having that capability, so I can actually just share my gameplay. So yeah, I mean it just bugs me that the Nintendo Switch, for the Switch, even the Switch 2 is powerful as it's supposed to be. It still only lets me record 30 seconds of freaking footage, man. I mean, like 30 seconds, like that's me going over the finish line in Mario Kart or something, And some games don't even let you. Mortal Kombat, for example, you can take screenshots, but you cannot do video. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if that's Nintendo deciding to do that, or if that's the developer. What is the reason? Why? Tell me why. Why? It's just annoying, to have a capability and just, and then just have that, not have that, it's clearly it should allow you, but it doesn't. So if I want to do gameplay footage on my Switch, or my Switch 2, I gotta hook it up to the TV. So even if you can't, I think this is supposed to be able to hook up to the TV, and it's supposed to have internet connectivity, but I don't know. I may have to break out that manual. I didn't throw it away. I usually don't really need manuals for a lot of stuff. I might kind of look through them, but there's a lot of stuff is just easy to figure out. But it feels almost like they falsely advertise, because I saw some videos on YouTube where they were saying that you could actually hook it up to the internet, and you really can't unless you do like get like some other attachment to do it. So a lot of these devices do allow you to hook up. So I don't know if maybe they were trying to save money. Maybe that's why they, they didn't do that. But this is it's been a real interesting month so far. Well, last month, is it last month? Nintendo they did two directs. They did they did one, I think, like last week, and then they did one like maybe a couple of weeks before that. I think it was. There were some games I thought was interesting. Like I'm looking forward to a few games. Um, there's one game I think is called Chronos, which is also going to be available on like the other platforms. But I've put myself on restriction. Like I've already started putting aside money for Marvel Cosmic Cosmic Justice or something. It's like a side-scrolling game with like Marvel characters like Storm, and I think I saw Wolverine and Captain America there. So I just put aside $5, you know, per check, you know, in my Steam account for that game, and then I pre-ordered the Sonic Racing game that's coming out. Cause I'm really trying to like limit how many games that I'm buying because my backlog is just crazy. So for the rest of the year, I'm already have decided what games I'm going to be buying like going forward. So the Sonic Racing game I pre-ordered for the Xbox Series S. Cosmic Justice I'm going to get on my PC. I put money aside for that. Trying to think, was there anything? Oh, the next Switch 2 game I'll be buying won't be coming out until next year, and that's a game called Dusk Bloods. So I already started putting money aside in my Nintendo account for when that game comes out. Then I'll just have it. I'll just be able to get it. Dusk Bloods, I think it's called. It's like a vampire game, but it's by Bandai Namco. So it's interesting. I was talking with one of the guys who works here last night, and I guess it's a multiplayer game. He was saying, I don't want to, I'm not really interested in the multiplayer. I think there is a one-player aspect to the game. I hope so, because I'm a little leery about multiplayer games because eventually they'll cut the servers and then you won't be able to play the game. So that's something to think about. If it has an offline one-player mode, then then you're pretty safe. But probably safer if you buy a physical version of it, because as you know, servers can go down, companies can go out of business, companies can lose rights. So the best thing to do is buy physical, which is another thing that's been causing Nintendo problems. People have been complaining about the prices, but people also been complaining about the game cards that you have to buy. You don't have to buy them, but certain games will be on. They're called key cards, and so you put the card in the Switch 2, and then it downloads the game from the internet. So if you were to delete that game off of your Switch 2 and you go somewhere on a trip and you don't have internet connection, you put the game card in, nothing, because you have to download. The game is not on the cartridge, and I think this was something to do with the cost, or just the fact that a lot of the Nintendo cards only are able to hold 64 gigs of storage, and a lot of these games are like just huge. Call of Duty is just like ridiculous, like 300 gigs. So I know they're saying that Call of Duty will eventually come on Switch. But a lot of the games, especially with high res or 4K graphics, so 64 is really not enough. So they gave developers the option to let people download the games, and so the key card is just a license saying I own this game, it's mine, and so I can download this. But you're dependent on the internet, so there's that. And I don't like it, and I really think they need to fix it. They need to fix the system that they have, because like if I want to play games on my Switch 2 that I already own, my Switch 1 has to be on, and at that time, and the game has to transfer. It's just stupid. If I own the game, I should be able to just download it onto any device. Why are you limiting me? It's just things like that, man. This is why, having physically owning stuff and even having things that don't connect to the internet may not necessarily be a bad thing, because, man, I tell you, it just feels like we're just losing more and more control over that we buy. So I was only trying to do like a really short video. I just got here at work. I got my coffee. I'm gonna try to play a few games. Maybe I'll play Marvel Rivals before my shift starts. I got about 20 minutes. I was only thinking I was gonna do like a 10 or 15 minute video, but this went on longer than I thought. But I will be back probably Thursday or Friday. My birthday is Friday, so if I don't go out of town, I will do that video where I will showcase like all my different consoles. And I have a co-host, and I've been trying to get together with this guy, man. I tell you, trying to get people together to do almost anything, it seems like it's a challenge. Everybody's got different schedules, and and just trying to get people motivated about stuff, or just trying to get people passionate about things. It's not always easy. I really want to do content creator stuff, but I gotta find like it has to be like over here, because then I've got the comic books that I'm doing, and I got the animated project, and then I got the film. So I gotta figure out where do the videos go? Where do I put that? Like I would like to try to do at least a few videos a week. I know they say that it's important to do videos frequently to keep your audience engaged, and there's always something to talk about. I don't have a problem talking. I mean, this one of my personality traits, which probably annoys the hell out of some people, I would imagine. But when you have passion about stuff, you like talking about it, and you are around the people that appreciate, then it's not annoying. But anybody else that just doesn't understand, and so that's just been my thing, just trying to find other people to connect with, that I can connect with. And even here at my job, sometimes when I have conversations with people, I'm like, one of my supervisors said, like maybe a week or two ago, she's like, "What are you doing here?" So I think being in an environment where I'm around other creative people, or people that appreciate my creativity, that's something that I aspire towards. So this might be my last year working in this company. I don't know if I'll continue to do security. I don't know. It's just it's been 18 years I've been with this company, but I want to transition into something that is more creatively stimulating. So in a perfect world, Sergio would just be making films and doing his comics and his movies and things. I just have to figure out a way to do that is financially rewarding. And it may just be that my demographic, my market may just be just something I'm still figuring out, but it may just be that may just be the issue that with why I've been having trouble with getting some of my stuff out there. I think that I may be looking at the wrong demographic, but I'll talk more about that later in some other videos. Right now I gotta go because I only got like 15 minutes now. So I'm gonna try to get in the game of Marvel Rivals real quick. Cause I love playing this Blade. Blade is cool. Yes, he has a gun, but he also has two really good swords. Two really cool swords, and he does that healing thing where he runs and he's got the red glow around him. I think that's some kind of vampire thing. Anyway, I'm out of here for now. I will see you later, maybe in a few days, and happy birthday to me in advance, 15th August. Leos, 56. Time just flies by, man, I tell you. Maybe I should do something like go to an amusement park or something. I wanted to take a trip, but I don't know. We'll see.